Welcome to Softcore History.
Welcome back to Softcore History. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
If you're gonna sing
Halloween, Halloween,
it's
got to come from the diaphragm.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween. Like, what? Come on, man.
I know.
Leave
I'm
it
sorry.
to the musical theater.
It's got to come from deep within. I get it.
We put on.
I can't be talking. I'm ashamed of myself.
It's a great high school memory of mine. While a lot of people were wasting their time like chasing girls and going to parties, me and several of my friends put on a street performance of The Nightmare Before Christmas. It ran from October 20th to December 24th. It got great reviews.
What?
That voice you hear, of course, is Rob Fox. I'm Dan Regester. We're joined special guest Jessie Wiseman. It is the Halloween bonus episode.
Because we forgot to have Jessie on.
Bonus. Hey, listen, you've got to. I'm trying to get this.
You got to
mic.
just figure out how you want it. Yeah.
I just need to figure out
It's
how
a
I
personal
want
preference.
it. It really is, because I feel like, sorry, also,
You look
You
better there
guys-
straight on.
what?
That looks good.
This.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of us, I guess, believes in Halloween. One of us,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
One of us gets the idea.
Now, who are
Of-
you today?
Here's the thing. Do I say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
don't
Because
you-
there's a deep cut joke if you've followed me in the
and I'm
app
not
for
even
10
going to
years.
allude to it at all.
Right.
Because I can't. Because one allusion to it, even the illusion of even alluding to it may be too much.
Right. Well, you do have audio listeners, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people that have no idea who we are. This could be their first episode.
Oh,
It's a
I
no.
great
hope
start
not.
already.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I am a deep cut JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like the classic one that you would think of, but I don't know if you guys put pictures in this at all, but if you
We'll toss picture up. Yeah.
if you put the one picture.
It's kind of a running bit where I'm like, oh, I'll put the photo right here, and I never do it.
Right. So you may not. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Do we even need to
It's
put a photo there?
No.
Yeah.
It's,
I think you
Spitting
nailed
image.
it, yeah.
yeah. If she wasn't killed.
Are
This is
you the
what-
same age as her?
Holy shit. No. I think she would be
No.
30 something.
She would be not even.
Not even, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. She would be, she'd be 34.
Rob's awful.
34.
34.
Yeah.
Rob's terrible.
I saw
at
the
math.
death date,
Yeah.
and I thought it was the birthday.
Yeah, no.
Because they're very close together.
Yeah.
Wait, you said 34?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 34.
So she's a year older than me.
yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that could have been your fate if you had been cast in Signs.
It's true.
Yeah.
If I
Right.
got the Culkin role.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways you can go with the JonBenet, right? You can go with this, like, this classic so people know. Or you could just be like, what would she be like at 34? Pageant? Or, like, smoking cigarettes, drinking fucking
She
straight
came from a rich
whis-
family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, the rebellion
No.
of a girl in
She's
a
gonna
rich
follow
family.
in the footsteps of what she came from.
I think she's in a sorority at CU Boulder.
You think?
Yeah.
she probably
You
has
think
like a pageant institute.
You don't think there was that she would have looked back on that time and then gotten mad at her parents and then rebelled?
Oh, she would
Do
have
you know
done.
what I mean?
She would have. Yeah, she would have been at she would have gone to CU, done a ton of coke,
Okay.
but she still would have kept the veneer. You know what I mean? It's not a. You wouldn't see the rebellion just from looking at her.
yeah.
You would have to go out and party with her, and then she would be like, "Fuck my
Yeah.
mom and dad, and all the stuff they put on me," and like fucks
Yeah,
like eight
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and which you know what, you're in college, do whatever, but like that's the rebellion.
She'd come out of it pretty
Right,
quickly and
right.
be like, oh, well,
And
I
then-
kind of do like being rich, though.
Yeah, and it's the type of thing where the parents are just like, "Are you done?"
Yeah.
No, she'd probably find Jesus.
Bail her
kind of
out over and over.
completely swing the other way.
She would eventually, yes, be like, yeah, she's Coke in college, Christ post-grad.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
build some homes
The
in
Coke
Waco.
to Christ pipeline is well-traveled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I...
We call that the Saul. It's a Bible joke.
Oh, those are fun,
I
huh?
know. We're Catholic.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for
on
coming.
actual Halloween? Is that what's
Yeah, this is
happening?
going to drop on actual Halloween.
Whoa,
So
well,
we're
happy.
recording this right before RPR because we figured Ross wouldn't be here on time.
Yeah, and
Might
he's
as well
not.
get an extra episode in.
Well, no, as I walked in at 9 o'clock and he was here.
He was here.
I
He was
"What's
ready to
going
go."
on?"
Yeah.
was
But
weird.
it's always a tease
Yeah.
because he's going to leave.
It's the Twilight Zone.
He's going to probably be even later than he usually is.
He
You
said
know
he's
what I
about to
mean?
get a pump.
Yeah.
He's about to go gym, which I don't know what that entails. I don't know if that's the treadmill, bicep.
It's elliptical.
Okay.
Elliptical only.
Maybe talks to people for 30 minutes
An
between sets.
elliptical with an 8 pound
Yeah.
weights.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate the elliptical.
Anyway, I have an episode that I think you're going to enjoy very much.
Thank you.
As the host of Crime Corner,
Yes.
find it on anywhere you can find a podcast.
Yes.
Crime Corner with Jessie Wiseman.
Yes.
Thank you. We also have a spooktacular episode, the same as you have.
Ooh.
A spooktacular.
I mean, all of your episodes are.
spooktacular.
pretty
yeah,
spooktacular.
Little
Although most of
creepy.
our episodes also feature death and
Most of
destruction.
history is horrific.
Yeah, it's
100%.
If you like Halloween, you'll love history.
Yeah. All of my stuff is like, 60s, 70s, little bit 80s because that was the heyday. Your stuff is
A little older.
older,
Although
but like that's
the
when
Patreon
you
episode
could do
we
that
just
shit.
did was about a
It was from the 80s.
1980s Japanese murder,
Gang
slash
rape
torture
murder.
from the
What?
Yakuza.
Yeah, he was like, here's a fun slice of history. This is yesterday morning. That's how my day started.
Gosh,
Drop-
coffee and Japanese rape.
Yeah. Gang
Yeah,
rape.
40 days of rape, and they lit this woman on fire. It was horrific.
You can just subscribe to the Patreon.
really terrible.
Patreon.com/softcore history for a great time.
Yeah.
I was definitely like, woo, history is fun.
Right. You were into it.
And for whatever reason, too, it was the 80s, because I've done terrible episodes, stuff about terrible shit. But it's like, oh, I was in World War II, so whatever.
Yeah, and
Or
it's
like,
it's more like it's like anything. You go, that's just what you did back then,
Right,
right?
right.
And like,
it was too modern for you?
yeah. I honestly, anything, especially if it's like something that's in like the 1300s and it's like he ate 12 children, I'm just like, well, it was
I
the
mean,
1300s.
What were those children wearing?
I don't, yeah.
trial
like,
and error back
it's-
then. Trial and error.
That's just life.
They
That's
go. Can we? They found the line.
Yeah.
Back then for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Saw
you're
it.
an 80s baby, so you're like, oh.
I am an 80s baby.
I was alive.
Baby. But not in a 90s Mercedes, to quote Maren Morris.
The best part about that episode, though, was they only got like max 15 years for torturing and killing this woman.
Really?
Yeah, Japan, I guess, not great with their criminal justice system.
Oh no. Yeah.
Very
yeah,
lenient.
we're the best to do it.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is a little bit more fun today. We have a
Oh,
serial
cool.
killer, but it's got all the beats, it's got all the notes. I think you're gonna really appreciate this. If I could have written a serial killer story, I don't know if I would have come up with something this good.
Okay. People would say like, I don't know.
Yeah, a little
Doesn't
too on the
seem-
nose.
Yeah.
The amount of
Okay.
times that happens now where I'm like, that. If I wrote that,
I know.
people would be like, no, that's unfair, that's wrong, that's too much. And then someone just does it. And
Yeah.
it's like, there's no, what is the limit?
Right.
I can't.
This
yeah.
man was made in a lab for you, Jesse.
Perfect. Good morning.
We're talking about Béla Kiss.
It's a chick?
No, it's a man
Named Bella?
named Béla Kiss.
Béla
Okay.
Kiss?
Béla Kiss.
Like, not like one word, like Béla Kiss, like he's a Greek.
Oh, like from
he's
where?
not Greek.
Okay.
So he was born in a small Hungarian town outside Budapest
Uh,
in 1877, and it didn't take long for his life to go completely sideways.
Just that area of the world,
yep.
murder.
Murder.
It's like there's a voice coming out of the forests.
Yeah.
That's just like,
Yeah.
kill. And not everyone can hear it, but there's enough people on the frequency that's just like, kill.
Right.
Even
Germany,
when you see him just
Hungary,
kind of walking.
Yeah.
To,
Austria.
Yeah.
It is funny, like when
That's where all the fairy tales come from.
when the
Yeah.
like back in the day, especially like the Romans, but even after that too. But the Romans would just be like, "That's the darkest fucking forest I've ever seen in my life."
Oh, for sure.
Like they're like, "What the fuck is that place?"
There's like always a fog.
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. They're like,
It's
"This
everyone's
is a horrible,
kind
horrible."
of sunken in, gray looking, with a gray jacket,
Yeah,
It's
and they're
Europe's Pacific Northwest.
holding potatoes or something. It's
Yeah.
just very.
I got the same kind of energy and vibe from Oregon, Washington State.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but that's another place where
Yeah.
the forests where you're like,
Some fucked up shit. has
yeah,
happened there,
and it's
too.
weird too because I feel like we're trained to think like, oh, a fucked up place with trees and stuff would be like the rainforest, the jungle. Like that's where crazy shit is.
No.
Like a normal forest, it's just like, what's in there? Some deer. But like once you like walk into it a little bit, you're like, this place creeps me out.
Yeah.
It's too quiet.
Well, there's all those murders that happen at national parks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
and
place to do it.
Nothing creepier than a forest like next to a highway. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you just go, too easy to access that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Why don't people just live out there on the highways?
They do. What?
I guess I've never explored those forests, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, if I was homeless, kind of get as far as you can on
Yeah.
like 35, going to those. Nobody's going to bother you there.
Yeah, but you need to. They gotta go.
Get close to an exit, though.
Yeah, you need to be
Yeah.
near a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
So his father was not around very much, so his mother put all her attention and love into her sweet, sweet boy. And by that, I mean she molested and raped her son.
Goodness sakes.
Just being
Made for Jessie in a lab.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I just want to let you know, on Crime Corner, I don't do any kid stuff, and I don't do
This is the origin
mom
story.
molesters. For some reason, a mom molester,
It's
you guys,
just
Every serial
foul.
killer usually gets kind of molested, right? A lot of them do.
they usually have mom issues, one way or the other, whether they didn't love
Right.
him enough, they loved him too much, whatever. It's usually connected
Now,
to
which
the
one do you
mom.
think this was?
God fucking damn it. I mean, I guess
Listen.
I am a misogynist, right? But like,
Yeah.
Her husband was probably a drunk, never around. She
Well.
needed love and attention.
mom molesters? No.
That's too
There's
much.
no way to just justify
It's
it.
too much. It is
It's-
actually weird because with a guy, you're like, well, men are morons.
Men are
ids.
morons. They just like get something in their head, and
Yeah.
the testosterone just drives them right there, right?
Yeah.
Women, it's like, what?
Yeah. Which is why, remember that story we did on the other show about the engagement that was broken off? The teacher was engaged, but she was like making out with a 5th grader.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? How mentally ill can you possibly be?
What? Okay.
This type of support from at least one parent was just the foundation he needed to become a successful entrepreneur, running his tin business that did fairly well.
Oh, you're getting really sassy with this one.
Yeah.
Friends and acquaintances described him as a social and handsome gentleman that was one of the most eligible bachelors in the area, known for his lavish parties and seductive charisma.
How wealthy was he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was wealthy in the fact that he ran a business that did
So
well.
like middle class, like merchant class?
Upper middle class.
Okay.
He had a trade.
It's just hard. You say Hungary in the 1870s, and yeah, I don't know if he's eating raw potatoes for every meal or if he's
Right.
like in the city, like doing pretty decent.
Well, he was a tall, blonde.
Okay.
So
And his mom just could not resist.
Couldn't resist.
Well,
This is what he grows up into be. So I
Well,
imagine he was
she
probably, yeah, she knew.
she knew.
Could spot it. Outside of being the tin man in town, Kiss got really into astrology and occult practices.
Yep. That's how it starts. They break your brain as a child, then you see some weird shit, and you're like, that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
You're finding meaning, you know.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people like that find meaning.
This guy was
In
just early in
astrology.
everything, right? Like he's just
Oh yeah, trendsetter.
into the stars.
Sort of.
I bet women were all about
Into
that.
older women.
We're just really flushing kids down a toilet today.
Listen.
Yeah.
Well, with no dating apps at the time, In 1903, he started putting out ads in the newspaper offering himself up for marriage to the right woman.
I mean, very common thing at the time. That was even personal ads were a thing in the when we were right before.
Yes.
Even on the internet. Craigslist.
On the internet.
M
Oh,
for
they
M?
had personal ads like forever.
Yeah.
Even like Nanny DOS era.
They were absolutely, and like I remember I read.
You
this,
had to write letters in and get letters
get it
back,
published.
but 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one I read from like the 1800s in America that was like, I am looking for a good woman. I have my full set of teeth. I own 3 sheep and a farm, and I am learning to read.
No
Like,
pictures. You're basically just like hiring
yeah.
a sturdy gal
Yep.
to help you on the
I would just
on
like
the farm.
to find a woman. I do not think the lonely life suits me. Like that's literally like what it said, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
He wasn't even old. He was like 18.
Yeah, but if
That
you look
might-
at like dating profiles now, it's all the same.
That might be a better way to go about it now, guys.
Yeah. Should
You've got to like
I have
write
land.
a letter. You get a letter. You have to write another one back,
Yeah.
send it.
Oh wait, I meant to tell you this. You know what I found out recently? Do you know what Raya is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Did
they
you
have,
not
like,
know what Raya was?
I did, but what I didn't know was that like they let like influencers and shit on there.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
there's not enough famous people
And
to
there's
be
not
on
enough
Raya.
women.
So
So like
you need to get on Raya.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You have
I'm
a podcast.
sure you can get an invitation.
I would get rejected immediately.
I
You
don't
need to
think
get on
so.
Raya. I'll set up your Raya profile.
No.
Let's set it. I want you to be on Raya.
What do you get? Like you get sponsored or recommended or like vetted by
think you have to
someone
get
else
invited.
that's
You
on
apply. You have to get
You have to get
invited.
invited.
Yeah.
I can get. I'll figure out. We'll
But
figure
my
out a way.
God, let's get on right with that haircut and the fucking the beard all fucking combed. We'll take your picture right now. Put you on there.
Jeff Dye said he had a terrible time on Raya.
Oh, it's probably a nightmare.
Yeah, it's probably a cesspool.
Yeah.
But he also didn't he
It's
probably
the
met Kristen
worst-
Cavallari on Raya.
Seriously, it's the worst of the worst. It's if one of those people was on Tinder, you'd be like, God,
Yeah, because
fuck.
imagine any famous person isn't actually on Raya.
No, dude, I knew a chick. I know someone.
Ben
Or
Affleck
Courtney
was
knew a
on
guy
there.
who matched with Carly Rae Jepsen. Call Me Maybe singer.
Is that impressive?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm into it.
All right, sorry, Bob derailed this serial killer with a.
Yeah, let's get back
You
to
being
molesting
on
kids here.
Raya.
Let's go.
Well, no,
I don't see
he's-
the connection, but go ahead.
He's in the Raya of his time.
Oh,
just
yeah,
throwing
yeah,
out
the
these,
higher level,
newspaper
okay.
ads. Police later found out that he was interested and corresponded with 74 different women. So he was getting some matches.
Dude, you described him
Hell yeah.
like.
Did
Yeah.
he include a picture?
I believe so.
Oh, well. By the way,
Good
not
night.
easy to get a picture in the paper. In fact, they probably, I'm not even sure they were putting photographs in the paper, so it would have been a drawing.
Who knows?
In the 1890s?
No, this was
All right.
1903.
Here's another
1903,
idea.
it's mixed.
Here's another idea. Dating app with drawings only.
Yeah.
Right now, drawings only.
Of these 74, he started to convince dozens of them to send him money and assets in exchange for matchmaking services with his non-existent friends, fortune telling, and some good old-fashioned pipe laying on these desperate hens.
Well,
Okay.
whatever.
So he would meet up with
Victimless
some of them,
crime.
hook up, then extort them for cash.
Okay.
Or he'd be like, hey, I got a buddy that's like, he's an incredible guy. You should like meet up with him, but I need some money to get the meetup going.
Well, so he started catfishing too.
Mm-hmm.
He's ahead of.
Parting fools
His
from their money
time.
is, yeah. Let's.
Also a little fortune telling too. He's like, I'll read your future.
Oh, look, back then.
Pay me, please.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a
that was
legitimate
big
service.
business.
Especially in that part. I mean, he's in like gypsy country, Hungary and shit like that.
Oh, fuck. All right, now I'm picturing it. The gypsies.
He ultimately married his first wife, Julia, in 1905, and they had 2 children together.
Oh,
And that's the story. They lived happily ever after.
oh.
Oh, how nice.
Kidding. Kiss couldn't keep it in his pants, and at 35, he gets involved with a 20-year-old named Maria.
Well, it's better than molesting his kids, I suppose.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's
already doing better.
That's fine. The way this story's already gone, him banging a 20-year-old,
Yep.
no
the
problems.
first sentence.
But he blows up his marriage and he leaves his kids
Well,
for a 20-year-old.
okay.
Again, back then.
Bad father.
What'd she look like?
She was a damsel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there are people you would
Blow and look.
hit the reset button.
I'm
for.
sure we've been over it when I'm on the show, and I'm sure you guys have been over it otherwise. But the amount of people that Bob has on that list, right?
It's a big
of
world.
people that he would just risk it all, blow it all up for.
It was one person, I think.
Oh, it evolves.
It depends on the mood.
You're just a grande.
Ariana Grande is one of them, certainly.
But she's very attainable now at this point.
Was it an Ana
not
de
even-
Armas?
She's not aging well.
She looks fine.
No,
but
she doesn't.
She looks great. I don't
looks
like
awful.
her. I don't like the blonde hair, but that's just for Wicked.
Which he loves. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Win-win.
Which I will be performing in my front yard for Halloween for the children.
In hopes that she sees it.
Well,
Hey,
if I go viral and she DMs
you know
me
how
and
Bob
says,
found out about Raya?
Are you
He's
on
on
Raya?
He's
Like,
like, dude, I
babe.
could get on it.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm trying to make networking connections.
yeah,
Doing
yeah,
it
right.
for Bob,
This
dude.
isn't about
Just-
me
just
getting my
for the
dick
dig.
wet.
Yeah, that's not really. It doesn't count as everyone has like their hall pass, the celebrity hall passes.
yeah.
whatever.
If you're
it
on
doesn't really
Raya.
count if you're actively chasing after them.
Yeah, no. It's or like the joke of like somebody's hall pass, like your wife's hall pass is, a Brad Pitt, and
Yeah.
yours is like a friend of hers that you guys like know. Do you know what I mean? You're like, doesn't really work
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but yeah.
We've talked about this before. There was a guy on Reddit that was asking if he should be mad because his girlfriend's hall pass was like a local DJ.
Yeah, it can't be. You know what I
Right.
mean? It can't
very
be
attainable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it can't be the weatherman.
No, it's got to be like ScarJo.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It needs to be. It's like a offense.
So
it's,
unattainable.
Yeah, it's like an offensive joke, right? If it has to be so funny. The more offensive it is, the funnier it has to be.
Right.
It's the same thing. Like to do something that drastic, it has to be so impressive
Yes.
that you can't even be mad about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it actually happens. She has to laugh about it.
Right. Be like, babe, I don't know.
I don't
Scarlett
know.
Johansson just fucking. She was just like
She
Black
just jumped
Widow
on
from
me.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, and I mean, it just I went bananas.
So he gets married to this 20-year-old in 1912 after blowing up his other marriage.
Cool.
But Maria was still for the streets. Shortly after, she gets involved with an artist named Bakari. Kiss walks in on the two and does what any sane man does and strangles them both to death, opening up his bloodthirsty desire.
Okay, so he awakens something.
Right, but the first kill, justified.
Kinda, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
A
especially
crime
at
of
that time, and
passion.
especially hungry. Yeah.
Crime
Yeah.
of passion.
I mean, he's like, if anyone is going to destroy a marriage in this home, it's me.
Yes.
How dare you?
Yeah. Hello. I thought we had a little trust.
I forgot about the opening scene of I hadn't seen Minority Report in a while, and I got served the opening scene on YouTube where the guy like thinks his wife is banging someone else, and he goes back into the house and like he just hears them banging, and he's like on like under the bed, like listening to his wife get drilled or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's about to kill him, but then Tom Cruise busts in.
Right.
I
But,
think that'd
like,
be tough to hear.
listen, like we've all, had moments like that where we're like, I could kill.
Yeah,
Not going to.
but
Never
I
that
don't know
bad.
if I've had that moment with somebody.
No, like not that bad. Like I've never walked in on anyone.
yeah.
But like even just the horrible feeling of knowing about it, finding about it, whatever, like can you imagine if you actually saw it?
In
Murder.
in action, yeah.
There,
You know?
I have a friend who was.
We don't know what we would do.
I have a friend who was the guy
That was
The- ruining the relationship.
Okay.
Not a marriage, but it was
So
like,
he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
somebody else walk in on him.
yeah, he didn't know, and the boyfriend
Oh.
walked in.
That's got to be terrifying too, because you have no idea who this
dude.
man is.
yeah.
You don't know what he's
he
capable
said the
of.
boyfriend was just like, just get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Yeah.
It's funny that it was funny to me that the bro code survived. It's like, I get it. You didn't know. If you didn't know, it's not your fucking problem. Just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah. Holy shit.
In my mind, someone's pulling a gun on me immediately,
Yeah.
and I'm dead.
Yeah.
It's Boogie Nights.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
You're getting macied.
When authorities investigated her disappearance, Kiss claimed the two ran off to America, leaving him heartbroken and in shambles.
And who could say he was wrong?
And who could say there was no way to find out?
no.
Not then.
Good
They
old
buy it,
days.
and Kiss is back on the market looking for his next victim.
Oh, so now he's just in it now.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did it.
They don't need to
He
be
killed-
wronging him. It's just like now I'm fucking filled with rage.
Yeah, it's his villain era.
Yeah. Okay.
Karma is his boyfriend.
Sure.
Around this time, he also hires an old housekeeper named Mrs. Jacobek to keep things in order around his place as he went gallivanting around town. So he hired his own, like, Alfred.
Does she know? Because that makes it really fun if the housekeeper's in on it.
Right. And are they doing it? You know what I mean? There's some things.
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
She noticed an abundance of women coming in and out of his place, but didn't think too much of it, believing Kiss was just in total playboy mode. She was like, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, she's
I'm a housekeeper.
she's a simple housekeeper.
And it's just girls. Well, you'll get to it, but girls coming in. He's just having fun.
Just having fun, We just had his heart broken.
good
Woman
looking
left
guy.
him for another younger man. Went
she
to America.
sees the women come in. Does she see him leave?
She doesn't ask questions.
Okay, go ahead.
So Kiss got back on his bullshit of hitting interested women up with "you up" letters. Not to rob them of their wealth this time, but their lives.
So now he was like, I've tasted the sweetest fruit.
And I have to
Yeah.
keep going back to that.
Like, yeah, extortion doesn't cut it for him anymore. It's murder.
But he's kind of doing both.
He does both.
Like if you make
Yeah.
the cut of like I'm gonna have sex with you and let you leave, cool. Or you're the kind of person that I'm gonna kill.
Well, his method of murder was strangulation,
Right.
typically with a rope, or his bare hands while in the act of intimacy.
Oh, okay.
So it starts fun.
And maybe it gets a little rough, and like,
Yeah.
oh, this is
Oh,
I'm kind of into this. Oh no, oh no,
Too far. Too
yeah,
far.
yeah,
Too far.
yeah.
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 He was
Gross.
getting some kinks off.
Yeah. Feels weird to
Sure.
bang someone while they're transitioning from living to dead.
Yeah.
Like
JD
that. Didn't that
finish.
one chick do that? Well, I think we did a story of that too. They found the head of the
Yeah.
boyfriend in the house.
Yeah.
But she like killed him, like cut his throat while they were fucking.
Yeah. Like she took it the farthest that like you could think of taking it.
Yeah.
A kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truly the queen of goth chicks.
Yeah.
Forever and ever.
With like a smirk on her face too after. Super fucking
Yeah.
weird.
He would also bite into their necks and drain blood from the victims, ultimately earning him the moniker of the Vampire of Sincota, where he's from.
Okay.
So he left vampire teeth marks on the neck.
That's smart.
Did any of them? Did he kill some and not kill others? Was my question. Do we know? Or it was just like every girl this was his thing.
I think probably he just banged some. Right.
He did bang some.
That's always
yeah.
what
Let
kind
some
of
go.
fascinates me about serial killers are the people that survive,
Yeah.
basically. Where I just go like, well, we need to harness that. Like, what did that person
I
do or have or say or whatever
Yeah.
that you didn't?
I saw one from some serial killer who was like talking about how he picked up two teenage girls
Yeah.
hitchhiking into town in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Somewhere in like California. And he was like, I just didn't have it in me that at that time. He's like, it was an urge that would come. Like I couldn't do it whenever.
That's the fucking scariest thing.
Yeah.
Like the people that are like, yeah, I was in the car.
Yeah,
And
'cause
then
he was
he's
like,
just
I could've.
let me out.
He was like, they would have never found him.
Yeah.
It was served on a platter, but he's like, I just wasn't vibing on it at that moment.
I'd be offended, I think, too.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? I'd be happy to be alive, but I'd also kind of be like, what's up with what?
What'd
I
I do?
didn't do it for you? What are you talking about? All right.
He then
But-
preserved the bodies as trophies by pickling them
Perfect.
in large steel drums filled with
That's-
wood alcohol.
That's offensively Eastern European. Pickling your victims is, by the way,
Yeah, but then for what?
to look
Yeah.
at them, to like
To
pull
keep
them out,
'em.
like it's like a pig fetus in your science
That's what
lab in
Dahmer
high
was
school.
trying to do, and he used like the wrong shit.
That's what who was trying to do?
Dahmer basically
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
trying to keep them like preserved somehow, and he like just could not figure out how. That's Dahmer,
Yeah,
Ohio
wow.
State.
It's
You know
rough.
what I mean?
It's rough for him.
Ohio State education.
I think it was
Yeah.
more of
Generally.
like a Dexter blood splatter like slide that he had
Okay.
that he kept. It was just I don't think he was doing anything to the bodies. He was just keeping them in the barrels.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's just funny to me that the Eastern European is pickling.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course he is. And by the way, it's smart of him. I wanted to say to do vampire thing, because maybe these people are still so superstitious that all you have to do to throw the scent off of you is just walk around during the day, and they're like, "Well, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not him. I saw him at daytime."
Yeah.
I think he was just a freak.
Yeah,
sexually.
he did
He's
have
clearly a
witch-
freak sexually.
He had like witch-like tendencies too, with the fucking
Occult
the
practices.
cult practices.
He was
yeah.
into astrology.
Yeah,
And
so who knows?
Can't have a healthy relationship with sex in
Crystals.
general, considering
His mom
childhood.
was the one that took his virginity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always trying to chase that dragon, right?
Ugh.
When neighbors who genuinely liked him began asking questions about the steel drums around his house,
What?
Yeah. Oh, same.
Like, what's his name again? Bella. Hey, Bella.
Bella, so what you got in here? Pickles?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No,
and that would just be it.
he said he was stockpiling gas as he expected a shortage when a massive war was brewing in Europe. So the writing was on the wall that World War I was probably going to break out sooner than later.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just stockpiling the gas.
Weird that he would let people in the house.
I would still be like, hey, well, Bella, I don't love you keeping
No, so it was
hundreds of
outside.
gallons of.
Oh, they were outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love you keeping all these gallons of flammable liquid
Yeah, weird.
right next to my house.
Yeah.
Because there's no fire codes. It's 1908 or whatever fucking year it is. Lightning is going to strike that drum and nuke this entire block.
Bob, even in 1908, you sound like a fucking
He's calling the HOA.
nerdy
HOA, yeah.
fucking HOA director. Hey, man.
Yeah,
Hey, Kiss.
this is America.
Hey, man. I'm not gonna say anything, but okay, go ahead.
Like, it's cool, but...
Yeah, it's like cool, and
look,
like
I don't
I'm
care,
cool
but-
with it, like, and I don't
But, like,
care. But
other
like,
people were talking about it, and they're like, it's kind of an
Yeah.
eyesore.
Yeah, makes sense.
just fucking slits your throat right
Well,
then.
Next thing I know, I'm a fucking pickle.
exactly.
Yeah. In 1914, Kiss was drafted and joined the Austro-Hungarian army for World War I.
Let's have him on our team, dude.
He left the house he rented in the hands of his housekeeper and put her in his will to receive everything if he died in action.
Oh,
So this is kind of an issue for her because if they find
There's
out
bodies everywhere.
there's bodies everywhere.
Does she know?
Oh,
No, she doesn't know.
Okay.
she doesn't know about the bodies.
She doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
She just thinks he's.
You got to keep it that way, right?
He was just slinging dick.
But she lives there, right? How is he pickling whole corpses? There's no way
She doesn't live there.
she doesn't live there.
No.
Okay.
She
If
comes.
the
She pops
HOA
in.
snitch can figure it out,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's funny too. Now, I want to know.
But like, if they find out, police will be like, "Why did he leave everything to you?"
Ooh, yeah. No, that was smart.
Okay.
That's fucking her, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, rumors began swirling that Kiss had been killed in action 2 years later in 1916. The truth of the matter is, he swapped identification and tags with a dead soldier faking his own death.
Smart.
So he did was that Mad Men?
Yeah, that did happen at Mad Men. Yeah.
John Hamm.
So far, he is doing everything right.
He
From
other than
second
a
one.
couple murders has been.
But
pretty
even the
fun.
murders, if that's what you do, he's doing them right.
Now I want to know how many bodies he caught on the battlefield.
Oh.
Was he getting any?
I don't think
Probably-
he found any pleasure in it.
Yeah, because if
He's not
it's
fucking 'em.
sexually driven, you
Yeah.
just don't do it for
Do you find a
fun.
POW? I actually guarantee you. If
But he definitely got some.
he got some on the field, he probably, raped and pillaged
Oh, sure.
in whatever towns the Austro-Hungarians
True.
barged into.
Believing he was dead, Kiss's landlord then began to try to find a new tenant for his home. While inspecting the house, he cracked open one of those pesky barrels.
Yeah.
Ugh.
One of Bella's stupid barrels.
And he found a pickled woman on his property.
Good Lord.
He called the police, and in total, 24 bodies were found at his home, including his ex-wife and her lover.
Oh, so they were there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder how well preserved they were. Wait, there's probably photos.
I don't think they fucking lasted. It was during the war. There's no way it lasted.
What, the bodies?
I could only find one photo of this dude.
of
and it
this
was-
one
guy.
photo of the
Okay.
dude.
And it was
Okay.
him in uniform.
Damn.
No shit.
Was he
Because,
hot?
like,
I think for the time, he had a great mustache.
Okay.
Strong jawline.
he sounded.
He was tall.
Okay.
That's just half the battle. You just gotta be tall.
Especially
be
back
tall.
then. Every chick's like 5'1", and you're just like, what?
I think the problem for him was finding, like, a woman that wasn't just a sturdy
Yeah.
childbearing.
He already
know?
had one of those.
Yeah.
He had 2 kids. He left them.
Yeah, it got old. By it, I mean
What
his
did
wife.
he pickle? You probably don't know. What did he pickle him in?
Wood alcohol.
Wood alcohol. Would that work?
Some
Apparently.
turpentine?
No
Yeah.
shit.
All right.
Okay.
Good to know. I
So some
guess.
people that didn't believe that he was stockpiling oil,
Yeah.
his neighbors, they just thought it was alcohol in general. They're just
Oh,
like,
they thought he was just like a fucking alcoholic.
I bet that works for, like, smell too.
Yeah, one would imagine that it would completely neutralize the smell.
This dude is not dumb.
No,
I
I
know he's
mean,
not dumb, but it's like you still got to learn these things.
it's one of these things that the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, if Dahmer did any of these, he'd be like,
Yeah.
fine,
So the
still out there.
detectives arrested his housekeeper for questioning, believing she was an accomplice as Kiss had
Perfect.
left everything to her.
Perfect.
She took them to a locked room Kiss instructed her to never go to.
Always fun for the housekeeper.
It's just like
Never.
no, it's just like you don't have to clean this room. You're fine. Like leave this
Oh.
alone.
Yeah, but did he say that, or hey, you don't have to clean this room? In fact, just don't go in there. Don't worry about it. Don't go in there.
Don't do it.
I think it was definitely by no means do you ever go in here.
Yeah.
And she's like, cool.
I'm asking no questions.
Most housekeepers are like, no problem.
Could be like a sex dungeon.
I'll do
or
that with the
something.
people that clean this office. I'll be like, whatever you do, do not go into that fucking room. Don't do it.
Which room?
Maybe the citizen room.
Yeah.
Just be like, close the door. Be like, hey, you don't need to clean
Don't.
that.
Yeah.
You don't need to clean
go
that
in there.
room anymore. Don't open the door. Don't do anything.
You have him clean Joel's trailer, huh?
no, that's. But they already know.
Can
not
you
to go in there.
imagine?
It's a,
Yeah.
It's a trailer. You just avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
It was chock full of letters from women he interacted with over the years, photo albums, and books on poison and strangulation.
So he was a student.
He was always learning.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was grinding.
That's what I'm saying. You don't do it. You're not the best to ever do it of his time in the region.
Unless you
If you're
study.
if you're not like researching, studying, and,
Right.
and finding the best practices.
Right.
Yeah.
People think
He wasn't buying his own hype. He's like, I gotta improve.
No,
gotta
I've
get
got.
better.
I can't.
It's people think it's all just like athletic talent and stuff like that. It's about the game tape. It's about watching game tape at 4 a.m.
The best
That's-
ones, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what separates you.
100% the best ones do learn from each one.
Yeah.
He
and
was
do the next one
grinding.
better.
You know, he was an entrepreneur. He started his own business.
How did he have the time? To be honest, he had a tin business. He was
Thriving.
mailing chicks constantly, murdering and fucking constantly.
Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
that's what I always like question when dudes have multiple women that they're like
Dude.
dating at the same time. Like, who has the fucking time to do that?
you have to be like an actual. I think I've said this before in the show. I know one person who's done that, and I know 2 women that's happened to.
Like, that's why I got rid of the dating apps, because I would be on it, and after you get like 3 or 4 messages, you're like, I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
yeah,
I can't keep up with this.
like what is happening?
This is exhausting.
Yeah,
It's the same thing I say about the Abercrombie freak off.
yeah.
How in the fuck do you have the time, stamina, interest?
I
don't.
You know what's funny? I read something once. It was like this. I think it was on Reddit. And
Let alone the people that have like mistresses, right? Like several
Oh.
mistresses.
well, a mistress
Oh,
makes sense
bro.
at least.
But
Because
if you have like several of
if
them,
it's a girl in every port
Multiple
situation where
mistresses?
you just
But that's why I always say like the wife or whatever main partner has to be also a little bit over it, because
yeah
for me, like, you wouldn't be able.
right.
I'm
You would
checking.
notice,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? What are you doing? Where were you? I'm
Yeah.
asking people if the person was there to this day.
That's yeah.
Do you know what I
it makes
mean?
sense. It makes sense to me if you're like. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but it makes sense to me if you're like a pilot or like an NBA player or something.
Right.
Where you're going different seasons. Like, oh, this is my Dallas girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my Seattle.
yeah, that makes
girlfriend.
sense if it's an NBA player. I don't know about a pilot. You still have to like be in constant communication. But if you are like an athlete or somebody of a certain stature, the girl's not really going to get on you for not talking to her for like months.
You don't know that? You don't know that? A wife?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the mistress. The mistress
Oh.
isn't going to care if you're an NBA player that you haven't like hit her up in like 3 months.
Yeah, unless the mistress knows she's a mistress.
She probably does.
But I'm saying for the pilot too. If the mistress knows. It's just like, yeah, just catch some dick when the pilot,
I think you've watched Up in the Air too much.
ends his day at Love Field. And she doesn't have
And
a
by
lot of
the way-
self-esteem because she's fucking a Southwest pilot.
But by the way, how do you not, any of you guys, how do you not understand that a mistress is always going to turn into
a
a
liability.
jealous?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's a loose end.
always. So even that anxiety of that and trying to keep that fucking down, and then that one's.
But
We're just saying the time. Who has the time, right?
I kind of think for every time you see something blow up, you can like probably 5x it on the ones that didn't.
Yeah, true.
There's probably way more. Like you hear about the ones that blew up, and you're like, oh, another one blew up. But it's like, okay, how many didn't? Right? Like I know, like, or it's the same with like the teacher thing. Like, where it's like, oh man, you don't just hear about another teacher. It's like, okay, but if that's how many are getting caught,
Right.
how many are doing?
How many priests are getting away with this?
Right.
How
Like-
many dudes your guys' age are walking around being like, yeah, dude, best time of my fucking life, right? And I'm
seriously.
not saying shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dude in finance, working in New York,
he's just like,
has like
dude.
30 girlfriends.
If it wasn't this guy's mom, I would attribute it to that. But the mom molester.
Really broke his brain
Gosh.
from the start.
Yeah, can we even blame him, really?
Yes.
Yep.
Because here's the thing.
Got molested by his mom and then walked in.
Well, listen,
Crime
yeah,
of
maybe.
passion really opened everything up.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
I just
When I
most
tell
people
you-
who get molested don't become serial killers, so it just feels like you could still blame him.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. Most mom molested, right? Mom molested,
Yeah.
they do.
That's probably a higher rate. Probably an
I'm just
astounding
saying.
rate.
So women are stronger, is what you're saying, when they get
I'm
molested by
saying
their
when
uncle or
your
their dad?
mother who birthed you is molesting you, I think the whole world, to me, is the fucking craziest shit.
Yeah, you gotta stab your
part of
eyes
the-
out.
Yeah, no part of the world feels safe at that point. No, Oedipus did it on his own. That was consensual sex.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
What?
but with an
Oh.
adult.
The story of Oedipus.
He didn't know,
He
Yeah.
didn't know.
but
Because-
he found out,
Well,
and then still.
no, his parents gave him away.
Okay.
And then he came back, conquered the land they were from, banged his mom.
Didn't know it was his mom.
Didn't know it was his mom.
Biological mom.
I gotta say, I would have been like,
Also killed his father.
yeah,
Didn't know it was his father.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was all upset about it. That's not his fault. He didn't fucking know. That's how my Oedipus story ends. Is well, I didn't know.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Keep your eyes.
that doesn't
Yeah.
fuck you up in the same way, dude.
Yeah, no, not as that.
No.
Where it's like nothing is safe.
Nothing is safe. The world is upside down, and I am killing everyone.
Yeah.
And women in particular.
So these letters they found showed that he primarily focused on middle-aged, lonely women who didn't
Perfect.
have much family nearby that would notice if they went missing or not. So he had a type.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Women?
Again, he's not dumb.
Yeah, because people, although apparently not, according to our fucking Patreon the other day with the Japanese girl, but typically people are like, where'd that pretty young girl go? Right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's like, if anything, they're like, oh man, I don't know where the lonely middle-aged chick went, but I'm glad to
Yeah.
not hear her voice.
Thank
anymore."
God somebody
Yeah.
Or it's
scooped
like
up that
years
hag.
later you go, have you ever seen?
What happened to Janice?
Yeah.
What
You're
happened
like,
to
that
Janice?
was freaking years ago.
Someone
dude.
else is just like, I don't know, who
I
cares?
don't know. Case closed.
yeah.
Case closed on Janice.
She wasn't 20 or hot. What do you care?
She was
She
25.
doesn't register. She doesn't
Too old.
register in my retinas. Yeah.
They reach out to the military to investigate and possibly make an arrest. But with the chaotic nature of World War I, dozens of Béla Kisses being enlisted in the Hungarian army. It was a common name, apparently.
Unsurprising,
Yeah, it sounds
to be
so
honest.
fucking weird to me, though.
I know.
Every time you say it.
And our boy faking his own death and stealing the identity of another man, it was virtually impossible to track him down. They finally got a lead, though, however, in late 1916, finding him in a Serbian hospital, recovering from injuries. But by the time they went to make an arrest, he was gone and placed another decoy body in the bed, swapped his identity.
Wow. How do you know they were
God
coming?
Damn.
He could just he had this sixth sense where anytime they got close, he just bailed.
This guy,
Is there a movie about him?
I believe so.
Oh.
an American movie?
No.
Like
Okay.
loosely based. Okay.
Yeah. Because
'Cause this
I'll be
guy's
honest, we
fucking
watched
good.
that one European movie about that other with Ben Foster. The hero of this area from the Middle Ages, and it was pretty mid. So I need.
I think it's called Medieval, right?
I need an American or British film.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
I like that movie.
it was
Ben
whatever.
Foster's the man.
I think just Ben Foster's makes any movie.
Ben Foster's pretty sweet, and Michael Caine has a cup of coffee in it, but it was pretty mid.
You're too
Michael
harsh.
Caine
You're
has
like
a
the
cup
biggest
of
hater in The
coffee.
Office. I always get that reputation, but you are easily the biggest hater.
That's so fucking untrue. I can't even. I am the Office optimist.
He's just a realist, man.
Now, there were several sightings of Kiss in the following years in Romania, Turkey, and the French Foreign Legion, but Kiss was always one step ahead and moved on when he sensed they were getting close. The last known sighting of Kiss happened in 1932 in New York City. Independent homicide detective Henry Oswald tracked him down out of a subway in Times Square.
What?
How did he even know?
You're
He was on the
Okay.
case for years.
what?
He just like kind of, I think he picked up and read about the story and was just
Yeah.
like, I need to track
An
this dude down.
American.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he came to the conclusion that Kiss was working as a janitor in the city, but by the time he reported his findings to the police, they went to make, or at least interview the man they believed to be Kiss. The janitor was gone and never seen again.
Oh boy, he had to be getting bodies the whole time too.
Right. Or, wasn't towards the end and was
yeah.
just like,
So in the 30s, he would have been what, in his 60s?
He was born in 77.
Yeah. Okay, so he was not in his 50s. I mean, that's killing age.
yeah.
So the Hungarian vampire was never caught, and his eventual fate, as well as anyone he may have killed, remains unknown.
I mean, how many bodies do we know for sure?
24 confirmed on his property.
So 24 murders. God knows how many on the battlefield. I guarantee. I bet like double it. Just double it. Not even counting battle, like killed in war, which is fine.
Do you think he shaked it and was like, that was a weird phase?
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, right?
He could also have done that. Yeah, he could have also been like, I'm over it.
How is the it's pretty prolific, the amount.
24 is not bad.
And
It's not bad. It's like close to one of the worst,
in
right?
in a short amount of time too, right?
Yeah, close to one of the worst.
The rate stats alone. I mean, if we're talking like
We're talking like 1912 to 1914. So like
12 a year,
What was Gacy, like 30? And
He's
that
averaging
was
it-
like,
I don't even know.
Oh.
You know this better than me.
Granted,
but like,
he had some of these women on like his, like he had been in contact with them since like 1903,
yeah, but like
but like building up a roster.
one a month.
24 bodies on the property is actually.
Oh yeah, the first kill was 1912,
That's one a month.
and it was his ex-wife that he blew up his other marriage for.
Yeah. Well, ex-wife and her boyf.
Yeah,
My weird thing is the American, like, what? Finding out about this?
How do you even
And
like a
then-
decade later,
A
2
decade
decades
later,
later.
and finding him supposedly.
as a janitor in New York City.
I don't know.
you're just reading up on murder? I guess that's your profession, so you're like,
He's
Yeah.
a PI.
Dude.
but then what? He just like is
To
like, I bet he's in
track.
America. I mean, it would make sense.
I don't know. I didn't really look into that part.
It would
I don't know
make
if there's
sense
a
for
ton
them to
of
come to the
information.
United States.
Yeah, and you can track people when people were coming through Ellis Island, stuff like that, or however he
Yeah, it's way hard.
came.
Yeah,
A lot harder, but if
you
you
can
were a
still do it.
detective at
for
that
sure.
time.
Yeah, for sure.
So, a common name that he used in both the letters to these women, the
Oh, he probably
military.
wrote someone.
He had a name, an alias that he always stuck with, and the janitor also had this name. It was Hoffman.
Okay.
So I think that's
He
kind of
probably
the
wrote to
connecting.
someone in America or something.
That might have been it. He was just connecting the dots, like this Hoffman fellow from Hungary, and he was in the French Foreign Legion.
Look at him. I wonder if they were just like, hey, Jim, I know you're having fun, but there's just like 8 real murders we have to solve.
in New York.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was like, maybe?
Yeah, another pigeon lady was stabbed to death in the Bronx. Just get over the Hoffman guy.
Yeah. I swear he's coming, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's probably still in Hungary in that fucking village
He
or
could be
whatever.
fucking
Like,
anywhere. Yeah.
go there, I guess. But like, just waiting for him by the subway, bud,
Yeah.
for years.
Like you watched 4 people get pushed onto the tracks.
But it wasn't your Hungarian
So it was
vampire, so
whatever.
I guess keep on the case.
But he got away with it.
Yeah.
Dude, he sounds like, again, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, I don't think we put enough respect on this man. I've never heard of him until I started doing this episode.
We literally do not put nearly. How many serial killers, Jesse, have you done that disappeared into the night, never got caught?
I mean, there's only like Zodiac at this point.
Yeah.
Because all of the other ones, like the big ones, are getting caught as like old men. You know what I mean?
Even the
like the Golden Gate or Golden State
Golden
or whatever.
State, Night Stalker.
even these older like 1800, 1900 serial killers we've done in the past, they usually get caught, and they get like beheaded or
Yeah. And there's other murders from that time period that, like, we did the Velisca, or however you say it, axe murders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was just probably the one. He just did it at the one spot.
Yeah.
And killed like 8 people. I mean, it's like almost like more like a mass shooting.
That was a
right?
traveling hobo.
The
too.
Ripper.
Yeah.
I think the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper /
was
you still
never-
need to do the Austin Servant Girl Annihilator.
Because many think it's Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Right.
They think it's the same guy. Although now I every once in a while you see stuff pop up that's like, we figured out for sure who Jack the Ripper was.
Is he the GOAT? Because, I mean, he gets all the love.
When I tell you, too, that when they catch them,
He's
even
a
the
hype
Golden
beast.
State Killer, when they caught him,
Yeah.
there was no real satisfaction to it.
Because he was old.
Because he was old, and then it was also like they couldn't really, but
Prove it.
kind of did, right? To
With
a
the-
couple, but
yeah.
not all, and you're just kind of like, okay.
Well, you only need a couple.
Right, I guess, with the
Because they
MO.
never get all. And then they had the one guy in prison who obviously didn't get away with it, but they just like, it's that black guy who's the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history.
Right.
Who was just like, yeah, I think I killed like 120 prostitutes over the years.
Yeah.
And they were like, and they looked into it and they're like, oh my God, he did.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, like these are all his.
Yeah, there's something to that when they're older and when they're just like, I don't know. It's not, there's no, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like real
Right.
satisfaction to
It's
it.
like
you're
it's
just
like
like,
the guy. It's like playing hide and seek, and you can't find him for so long that the other kid gets bored, and he's just like, "All right, it's my."
all right. I mean, if you're
Yeah, I'm here.
Whitey
It's-
Bulger, you know what I mean, living in Santa Monica, whatever.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
literally.
You're clearly keeping a low profile, so
Yeah.
whatevs.
Yeah, there's no satisfaction to that.
No.
We got him, sort
because
of.
they're still saying no. You don't have the evidence because it is so old and you're just kind of like,
Right. And he doesn't really lose. The whole point is, right, he's supposed to lose his life either by being locked
Right.
up or killed
Right.
by the state, and he didn't.
right.
He loses like 6 years,
Yeah.
10 years, the last 10, the lamest 10.
Right. So, this guy, when was he born? Sorry.
1877.
Did most of his work in his 30s.
He got away with it,
Was
dude.
a veteran.
You're never, yeah, he's a
He was like the saint.
for the Central Powers.
Yeah, for Austria-Hungary.
Yeah, for the side we fought against in World War One.
He was an enemy
yeah.
of the state.
Well, thank you for doing a serial killer. I know you guys don't.
No,
Love
I
it.
like when it ties into history though. Like he literally
Yeah.
took a monumental event to escape. Like World War I, he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm out."
Yeah. Oh, that's the perfect exit.
So fun.
And what'd you learn today?
I learned that even though a story starts with a mom molester, a molester mom, that you could still get kind of inspired.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy, I mean, the vanishing
It's
and
not-
the
yeah.
like.
He never really got red pilled until his mistress / future, I guess, wife cheated on him.
Yeah, and it's not what I learned. It's what other serial killers should have learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
Because, my God, he did everything.
Wood alcohol's your friend.
Right. Wood alcohol.
Turpentine, yeah.
Have the maid leave everything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're leaving and there's any chance for someone to come into your house, have the maid there that's like fully, everything's going to her. It's her house, basically. Everything's in her name.
Yeah.
Swap identities, fake your own
Brilliant.
death.
Swap it,
Join
then
the
swap it
military,
again.
right? See you later.
Make your old housekeeper the scapegoat.
I mean, I don't know, but he should have written a book.
Just become fucking Better Call Saul, going over to New York, just living a low life.
What, selling Cinnabon?
Going to Cinnabon. Essentially, it was his time's version of working at Cinnabon.
Yeah, like I think that's what he was trying to do, right? I'm a janitor.
Nobody looks at a
whatever.
janitor. You don't look at a janitor.
Yeah.
Describe to me one janitor's face. You can't do it.
Exactly. He did that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you.
Who's today's Hitler?
His mom. Even though
I'm not going to blame his mom. I'm going to blame his father for not sexually serving his mother.
So it's not really how molestation works, but go on.
He wasn't around.
No, carry on.
I mean, if he was around, right?
I know you don't do the clips, Bob.
If,
Clip this.
If his dad was around more, she wouldn't be able to get away with it.
Oh.
I guess he would have been there to be like, don't do that.
Don't fuck our child.
Hey. And that's
my job.
that's the shitty thing about mom molesters. It's like mom's, bathing the kid or mom's doing. You're never like thinking it's weird if it's a mom alone, and right?
Yeah.
That's the sinister thing about
Yeah,
it.
if anything, you're like,
you know
you take care of it.
Yeah, you take care of it. I'm going to go sit on the couch, right?
Serial killing murder is like normal to me, right? But the mom molest, it's such a murder is a betrayal of trust, but mom molesting is such a insane betrayal of trust that mom wins. Mom wins.
Listen, he was a tall, handsome
wins.
fella.
Why didn't he kill her?
Well,
I think by the time he got old enough and had that bloodthirst in him, she was dead.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
most of them aren't able to get back at the mom because it is all going back to the mom. I think
He also moved away.
Gacy did, or Geen killed the mom and made her into like a lampshade, right? So, but not all of them get to like revenge on the mom, so they're taking it out on every
Gacy
other
or Geen,
woman.
was that even revenge, or was that like they're crazy?
Geen, I don't know if it was revenge or if it was like intense obsession with the mom who was kind of maybe mom molester. We're not really sure, right?
Okay. I'm not well versed in serial killer lore.
Well, it's always just trying to get back at whatever your mom did to you.
It's fuck you, mom.
It's fuck you, mom, whether the mom was horrible or did that kind of shit or was like you're obsessed with her or she's obsessed with you. It's just,
Yeah.
The mother-son relationship is the consequences can be dire, right? So you got to really
always tell
walk
Courtney,
that
I'm like,
line.
enjoy it now.
Enjoy it now.
While they just are obsessed with you. They're
Right.
your little babies.
Because at a certain point, you're going to have to go, hey, bro.
Yeah. Fuck you, mom.
You got to get out of here, man.
Fuck you.
I can't be your best friend. It might be fucking weird.
Yeah.
So go, get out there, be independent. I would say maybe the boyfriend that, or the guy that he walked in on.
Awakening the Beast.
Awakening the Beast.
Yeah.
And again, I always
He was
blame
an
the
artist,
woman,
too.
so it's her fault.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
You lose your woman to an artist. Ugh.
Yeah,
She
and
wants a
then whose fault is it, right?
Yeah.
Is it his fault, her fault? I'm not sure.
She
but
needed
He
someone.
kind of knew what he was getting into with a younger woman.
She needed someone who understood her, right? He was as cold as the tin he sold.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
It happens like that
Yeah.
really fast. But that is the end of Halloween Horror Nights. Jesse, thank you for joining us for this last second
Spooktacular.
spooktacular.
I love it, guys.
Santos.
I love it, guys. Love the show. Like how every time I'm on, you just try and out the gate.
Yeah, boy.
And you always do, by the way.
What a cold open.
Whether it's a pig lit on fire and thrown into
We're trying to get away
I
from
understand what's happening to me.
Yeah, but in every episode
Yeah.
I do
the
feel
horrific
like,
animal murders. We kind of got into a bad habit of having you on for those.
Yeah.
It really is by accident.
It's not. Rob was usually the head of those episodes, but we'll get you back to what you do best, and that is serial killers. And
Thank
where can the people find you talking about serial killers?
You can find me on Crime Corner audio feed, Crime Corner with Jessie Wiseman. Look it up, or on Drinking Bros Patreon. We do video where you can see the pictures, Dateline style, but you can listen to the one with Delco on it.
Mm-hmm. I've been
Dan
on
on it.
2 or 3 episodes. 2.
Oh yeah, you've been on the Scott Peterson, which by the way, that might become a little bit more current.
Okay.
We'll see what's happening, right?
We'll
We
have to
might have to
do part two.
rerun that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a part 2.
And then we did the safari thing.
Yeah, we did
produced.
the husband and wife that went to kill big game,
And
and
she
the dumb bitch shot herself in the
yeah.
heart, which is like,
Women.
ugh,
Learn how to handle it, guys.
right? And then
Why-
Bob, we have to have you on for one, but I'm not sure. It's gotta be tailored.
Gotta fit the vibe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of like what you're into.
You know, I say all the time. I used to. I worked for a summer. I was a law clerk for a federal death penalty defense lawyer.
Ooh.
So I've read some gnarly cases, but they're like randoms. Like I had to like file his shit away, and I would just get
Like
bored.
ones that didn't make,
Yeah, I was like,
you
whatever. I remember I asked, I was like, whatever happened to this guy? Because he like killed a little girl and killed this like woman. There's like a picture of the woman with a knife in her neck. I didn't see the girl, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever happened to this guy? Is he still in jail? And he's just like, no, they killed him 15 years ago.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool.
Cool.
And then obviously, I've read many a case my mother has left strewn about the house.
Ooh, yeah.
Which-
Maybe we can get your expertise on
He did
something
challenge
like that.
me immediately on the Japanese episode we did for Patreon. He's like, I've seen so many like awful cases. There's no way you can like exceed this, and I think I did.
I mostly
sounds like it.
What made me, it was just like frustrating that they just kept getting away with it.
In their parents' house.
Yeah.
The parents would like pop in and be like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" Like, "Don't worry about it, ma'am."
In the 80s?
In the
In
80s.
the 80s.
That's
Like,
what really...
mom and dad were like, what's happening?
They're
Like,
also,
get out of here, Bob.
to be
Fuck
fair,
you,
they were
Bob."
terrified because he was in the Yakuza.
For sure.
Right.
And it, wasn't American 80s, right?
I mean, Japanese 80s. was
Japanese
pretty good,
80s
too.
was popping.
Yeah, that was when that was the economic boom in Japan. That was like their roaring 20s because that was when all the Japanese stuff, electronics especially
like
took
Sony.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was when money was just flying into Japan. Cars too, I guess.
Tune in, patreon.com/softcorehistory. Well, thanks for tuning in. We love you guys. For Jessie Wiseman and Rob Fox, I'm Dan Regester. And you just got sauce served.